What's up, everybody? It's Alex. Welcome back to Sitting by the Fire. Grab a seat, zone out the noise for a minute, because today we're getting into some real talk. Today, we are going to talk about the tragedy of male loneliness epidemic. To be specific, we're unpacking the title and subtitle of today's episode, The Tragedy of Male Loneliness Epidemic. Got no one? No problem. You're a man. Just man up. Sounds familiar, right? It is the oldest, most worn out script we've been handed. But guys, we have to talk about this because it is a literal crisis. Look, I was reading this massive 2025 study recently published in the Lancet Healthy Longevity. It's a global data among 47 countries, and the numbers are wild. Suicide rates for men are through the roof compared to women, especially as we get older. We are talking over 29 deaths per 100,000 for older guys versus just 6 for women. In the US, the CDC says guys make up about 75 to 80% of all suicides. That is terrifying. And this male loneliness epidemic is the silent fire driving those numbers. The real tragedy isn't just that the house is burning down. It's that millions of guys have been culturally brainwashed to just ignore the smoke. Society tells us that showing feelings means you're soft. So guys mistake their crushing isolation for being independent. This creates a massive void in our heads, and naturally, that creates the perfect setup for these internet alphas to swoop in. They hustle this idea that you're miserable because you don't have enough dominance or money, totally ignoring that you really just need a genuine human connection. The craziest part? The cure these guys sell actually completely kills your empathy, locking you even deeper into isolation. To figure out what's actually going on out in the streets, I chopped it up with 4 dudes from completely different corners of the globe. They were cool enough to spill their guts, but wanted to stay off the radar. So, to respect their privacy, we're going to call them by their home turfs. Our 27-year-old Tunisian guy, our 24-year-old Italian dude, our 25-year-old Georgian guest, and our 31-year-old Aussie bro. Let's get into the wild twists and turns of what they had to say. So of course I started with a basic question. Are you guys even aware of this epidemic? You'd think it's all over our feeds, but most of them had zero clue, as in zero. Our Tunisian, Italian, and Georgian guests had straight up never heard of it. Only our Aussie bro had actually stumbled across the term before. But here's the kicker. None of these guys fit the stereotype of the lonely dude sitting in the dark basement. Our Tunisian guy kicks it with a crew of 6, hitting up cafes and going for walks. Our Italian bro is all about having a tight brotherhood of 2 or 3 ride or die guys. Our Georgian dude has 7 close friends he hangs with weekly to play games and talk life. And our Aussie friend has a solid crew too, even if they're drifting a bit because guys are getting hitched and starting families. So they've got people. Epidemic solved. Nah, not even close. Our Georgian guest hit me with some heavy reality. Even with 7 close buddies, he admitted that he very often feels completely alone. Why? Because he bottles up his negative thoughts so he doesn't stress his friends out, and he feels some stuff is just too private to put out there. Our Italian guy had a similar story. He moved to Germany, he spent weeks and months completely isolated until he finally learned how to actually open up to people. Now I know what you're thinking. What about social media? It could fix the problem. But let me ask you this question first. Is social media a cheat code or another trap? Our Italian brother straight up deleted all his social apps except WhatsApp because it wasn't helping him connect and he needed to protect his time. But check this out. Our Tunisian guest is on socials 3 hours a day specifically to reach his distant friends, and it actually keeps him from feeling disconnected. Meanwhile, Our Georgian dude said social media neither attaches nor detaches him. Sometimes he just prefers staying home and messaging the boys online instead of walking 5 minutes to see them. So, what actually grounds us? Our Aussie bro brought up a huge cheat code. It's the physical community. He's stoked that his culture keeps families tight. He said this community is heavily Christian and his church genuinely teaches camaraderie and togetherness, giving him a massive built in sense of belonging. Okay, so we're down to the last parts of this podcast, and we are going to talk about the culprit or the main perpetrator for the male loneliness epidemic. Because at the end of the day, why do we suffer in silence? It's the tough guy act we're forced to play. Our Georgian friend said in his culture, showing emotion is a no go, and seeing a shrink basically gets you labeled as crazy. Our Tunisian bro backed it up, saying mental health isn't even a blip on the radar in his circles. But guys are waking up. Our Georgian dude completely roasted the whole Alpha Sigma male internet hype, calling it a mainstream idea made up by kids and reminding us we aren't actual wolves. He even called out Andrew Tate specifically, saying he pushes an unhealthy culture for young men. Our Aussie guest said his dad actively taught him not to be scared of sharing his feelings because he had that safe space growing up. He is totally honest with his boys today. Before we head out, let me hit you with some final thoughts for the road. Brotherly advice from our Georgian guest: having close friends is huge, but don't force it. Let guys come into your life, test the waters to see if you vibe, and then build those memories with them. Look, from one guy to another, we might be physically strong, but everybody has a breaking point. We desperately need safe spaces where we can drop the heavy armor and just be real with each other. Spaces built on love and zero judgment. Final words? The male loneliness epidemic is 100% real. It's time we stop ignoring it. So hit up your boys, check on them. Being honest about what's going on in your head isn't weak. It's totally fine, and frankly, it's the strongest move you can make.